Today, officers pull aside a traveler returning from a short trip to Colombia with a conspicuously large amount of luggage.
You brought all this stuff with you when you went down?
Yeah, basically my wear. Yeah, and right here I have some gifts for my wife, for my sister.
Oh, all right. Why didn't your wife go with you?
Because she's in here with my son.
Oh, all right.
This guy is looking like a thief.
This traveler is acting nervous. His carotid artery is pulsating. His hands were shaking a little bit. So you want to find out why. What was the purpose of your trip?
Vacation.
When was the last time you were there before this trip?
2 years maybe.
3 years ago?
2 years.
And where'd you go, Colombia?
Yeah.
He's coming from a source country for narcotics. When did you buy your ticket to go down there on this trip?
Friday.
When did you leave?
Friday or Thursday.
When did you leave?
Sunday.
Well, so this was a last-minute trip?
Yes.
Usually when people buy tickets quick like that, kind of sends up a red flag. What was the rush? What was the urgency? Why?
Because they just give me vacation for 5 days.
You don't get like a vacation ahead of time?
No.
You have the credit card on you that you paid for?
Yes, I do. Is something wrong?
Well, you are nervous already.
Yeah, well...
Well, what's the reason why you're nervous?
At Detroit's Metro Airport,
Can I see you guys' passports, please?
2 passengers arriving on a flight from Nigeria are being pulled into secondary inspection.
So how long are you guys coming to the United States for today?
Since September 11th.
September 11th. Have you ever been to the United States before?
She has not been, but I've been in the United States.
Okay, so this is your first time?
The first time, yeah.
The passengers stated that they were coming to the United States to visit his brother for a couple weeks. The primary officer noticed a lot of inconsistencies and wanted further inspection. You stated to a previous officer that you were expecting, is that correct?
Yes.
And so how far along are you, ma'am?
4 weeks because I just got to know.
You said you're 4 weeks?
16 weeks.
10 weeks?
16.
Oh, 16 weeks. How much money are you guys traveling with today?
Okay, when we add everything up,
Currently, yes.
okay, so that will come to 15,980.
15,000.
980.
980. So when you travel with more than 10,000, this is what you have to fill out. When he's done filling that form out, we're gonna look at your guys' luggage, and if everything is good to go, we'll have you on your way, all right? Thank you. Do you have any medical paperwork saying how far along you are? Do you have ultrasounds on you? Do you have any letters? And the reason I ask this is when you travel from another country and you get on a plane, normally you need approval from your doctor saying so-and-so can travel. So do you have that with you? So when I asked you how far along you were, you told me 16 weeks, correct?
Yes.
Paper's telling me 25 weeks. So I want to ask you why the inconsistencies.
Back in New York City,
Hey, go ahead straight across. Just put your blue on.
Customs and Border Protection officers are searching for contraband on a flight from the Caribbean.
We enforce custom law. We have a mobile x-ray van that we're going to utilize to take a good x-ray of all the bags 100% coming off of this flight. We look for contraband, drugs, weapons, anything out of the ordinary.
A lot of these flights are notorious for bringing in food. This looks like it's molasses. Usually what we're looking for out here is nice big bricks.
Down the line, an officer thinks he may have a hit.
They're going to have to take a look at that. They look like bales of marijuana. You got to go in and you got to probe and you got to cut them open.
There's like a leafy kind of smell to it.
At New York City's JFK Airport,
You brought all this stuff with you when you went down?
Yeah.
officers are examining a tense traveler returning from a short trip to Colombia.
He's coming from a source country for narcotics.
Is something wrong?
Well, you are nervous already.
Yeah, well...
Well, what's the reason why you're nervous?
I never had any problem with it.
You don't have a problem now. This is what we do.
Oh, I know.
This is
but
our
no,
job.
it's just-
You know,
I understand.
and we search your
Like,
bags, we talk to you. This is part of our border search authority that we have, you know? Anybody that comes into the country, you're always subject to search,
I
you
got
know?
it, yeah.
And you do seem a little nervous.
Oh yeah, because I mean, this is serious for me.
Right.
I'm really nervous because never something like this.
Right.
That's why.
Did anybody give you anything to bring into the airport?
No, I bought all the things.
Your wife knows you're coming here today?
Of course, she's outside waiting for me.
Okay. And you stayed with your parents the whole time you were there?
I did.
Who took you to the airport?
My sister.
Everything checked out. His story seemed to make sense. His bags didn't contain any contraband, so he was released.
Well, today was my turn. I had a lot of baggage just for me, and it was just a 5-day trip. So, maybe something suspicious about this, but I had a lot of presents. I have a big car, actually. Well, in a little wallet,
Two-thirds of all international mail entering the United States arrives at JFK's International Mail Center.
Mail branch here, we go through a lot of parcels from different countries, and we're trying to find pharmaceuticals, drugs.
Today,
I'm gonna send this one back.
Customs and Border Protection officers take a second look at a package from India.
It doesn't look right. There's something in there. X-ray shows some anomalies in there. Something that's glowing. We're gonna take a closer look. The package is manifested as men's toiletries.
But the items appear to be doorstops.
Yeah, there's something in there. Look at this.
At Detroit's Metro Airport.
So when I asked you how far along you were, you told me 16 weeks, correct?
Yes.
Paper's telling me 25 weeks. So I want to ask you why the inconsistencies.
When asked about her due date, a pregnant traveler from Nigeria is failing to deliver.
The language in there stated that she was 25, 26 weeks pregnant. When you go to the doctor and you're expecting this is her first child, that's a date that you would know. It's very hard for me to believe that you did not know you were 25 weeks pregnant. Very hard for me to believe. It's possible that you were nervous to tell me that, and that's okay, but I would like you to be honest with me. Did you know that you were 25 weeks pregnant, yes or no?
The truth is this. To me, the doctor told me that there's been 5 weeks.
The doctor told you that you were 25 weeks?
Yes, but to me, I know I'm 16 weeks.
Okay.
That's
So,
calculation, because I calculated.
so when I asked you twice how far along you were, and not once did you tell me that the doctor thinks you're 25 weeks, but you think you're 16 weeks. Little strange. I'm just trying to get the full story, okay? If you're traveling to the United States, okay, and you happen to give birth in the United States, it's legal. You can give birth in the United States, okay? But you have to have a way to pay for it. You understand? So insurance is my first question. Do you have insurance that covers the birth, you? There's no insurance that you have currently that will cover maternity care?
No.
Okay. Do you intend to have the baby in the United States? And it's okay if you do. I just want to know the truth. Now that we're telling each other the truth, that's all I want to know is the truth. Do you intend to have the baby in the United States, yes or no?
New York City.
That's like a leaky kind of smell to it.
Luggage from a known drug source country has officers cutting into some potential balls of bud.
They look like bales of marijuana.
The ball this size of marijuana, that's a lot. Yeah. Not marijuana.
It's not bales of marijuana, I want it being bales of tea leaf. But you gotta go in, you gotta cut them open.
I want to make sure that they're not going to try to sneak one in there, one bad one mixed in with all the good ones. Looks like we got something in the middle there.
At JFK Airport's International Mail Center.
Okay, there's something in there.
Customs and Border Protection officers are prying open a shipment of doorstops from India.
Oh, wow. Let me get the soup.
Okay. What do you got? We just saw something strange on the X-ray. We opened them up, and someone cut a little bit at the end of it, and we saw some powder coming out of there. Right now, we're just gonna field test it. You have enough in there?
Yes.
So based on the color system that's right on the package, we're gonna see what kind of substance that we have. It's testing positive for heroin.
At the Peace Arch border crossing in northern Washington state, long lineups are just part of the job.
When's the last time you came to the States?
Nexus is a trusted traveler program that allows low-risk travelers to cross the border easily.
Have a good night, guys.
As long as you follow the rules. Something this Canadian Nexus member is learning about the hard way.
Do you have any questions about your declaration today?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the dollar value of all this things that I'm bringing down. I'm bringing it down on behalf of a friend for his wife.
And what is your friend's wife doing in the United States?
She's a U.S. resident. He's a Canadian resident.
Okay. This traveler is a Nexus member. He's a part of the Trusted Traveler program, and he is transporting goods of someone else that is not present. So these were goods that he had in his home that he's letting her use in the U.S. home?
Yeah, I think,
okay.
And their food stuff as well.
May I see this list?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. How long have you been a member of the Nexus program?
Well before 9/11.
So a part of the Nexus program is Nexus members are unable to transport for other people. It is a violation of the Nexus rules and regulations to transport third-party goods. There is a possibility that this traveler will lose his Nexus privileges.
New York City. Officers examining what appeared to be a ball of bud have uncovered a surprise stash.
It's not bales of marijuana. I want it being bales of tea leaf. But you got to go in, you got to cut them open.
You got something in the middle there. You never know what kind of surprise you're going to get inside there. We've had combinations of cocaine and heroin coming in together. Some kind of meat. That would be an agricultural violation. You're not allowed to bring in meat from certain countries. So they wanted to bypass that, and they figured that we'd open up maybe one or two and not find anything, and they'd say, have a nice day.
Meat, pork, items such as pork, very bad for the U.S. It comes in with diseases. It can affect our economy. So they'll try different ways how to smuggle it in. They got a little creative with bringing in their meat, their delicacy, and they put the meat in the middle.
And now, every time they travel, their bags are going to be looked at because they're a previous violator.
We'll pass the name on to the officers on the inside of the terminal. They'll see the agricultural specialists. They'll get the passenger, and they're going to be fine because that's actually smuggling.
In Detroit, an expectant couple from Nigeria have yet to reveal the real reason for their visit.
Do you intend to have the baby in the United States, yes or no?
We are going back on September 11th.
Okay.
And with no insurance to cover the hospital fees, the $15,000 the couple declared is cause for concern.
$10,000 of that currency isn't negotiable. It's a check that was not endorsed, so he's actually traveling with $5,000. The check that you're traveling with, you have to understand, I don't know if that $10,000 exists. I don't know if there is $10,000 in that account.
I don't know too.
This is what I believe.
Okay.
I believe that you are coming to the United States to have a baby. I'm okay with that. It's perfectly legal. But if you are deceitful about it, if you cannot pay for that birth, then that's where my issues are. This amount of currency is not going to cover the birth of a child. You understand?
Hello, your passport?
At the Peace Arch border crossing in Blaine, Washington.
Nexus members are unable to transport for other people.
A Canadian Nexus cardholder's good deed goes sideways when he's pulled in for transporting someone else's stuff into the U.S.
May I see your keys, please? All right, if you'd like to have a seat on the bench, thank you. our household stuff that he's sending, random food items, the juicer, toilet paper. Upon searching the vehicle today, we have found the household goods that he stated were listed.
But aside from the declared items, the vehicle is clean.
Good. We will be documenting the Nexus violation. All right, so I'm going to have you hold on to that. Okay, so this is going to be a denial of entry notice for the goods that are in the vehicle, okay? So household goods present with insufficient documentation, so there's no entry on these items without the owner present. I'm not going to revoke your Nexus today or keep your card. I'm going to allow you to keep it, but we do have to notate it, okay?
I was trying to help a friend out who needed help, so now that I know, I'll be more careful and I'll let my friends know.
And I'll meet you by the ramp that goes up. Only transport the goods that are yours. Follow all the rules and regulations of the Trusted Traveler program at all times and adhere to them, or you risk losing those privileges. Have a good day.
At JFK Airport's International Mail Center.
That's testing positive for heroin.
Customs and Border Protection officers have locked on a shipment jammed with heroin.
Try to get a weight on it, so we have to take, what we're gonna have to do is just somehow take all the powder that's out of these containers.
Well, right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to extract the heroin out of the capsules here. The reason we have to wear a mask is because it's, first of all, it's a hard narcotic. This is heroin. We don't want to get contaminated one bit. We can free it from the plastic a little, and then gently pull it out. We put it on the scale, and it comes to 326 grams. It's a lot of heroin. It's a great find. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna finish up the seizure report, notify HSI, open up an investigation, and we're gonna see where it takes us.
At Detroit's Metro Airport.
So here's my problem.
An officer is concerned a couple from Nigeria is hiding more than their baby's due date.
This amount of currency is not going to cover the birth of a child. You understand? I don't believe that you actually thought you're 16 weeks. I believe that you knew you were 25 weeks, so I want to know why you were not honest with me about that. I really want to talk about that, okay? This is the time to be very honest with me. Were you afraid?
Yes, I was afraid.
Okay, and that's fine. This is a very nervous interview. I understand that. So you were dishonest about being 16 weeks because you were nervous. You knew you were 25 weeks. We're on a fresh slate now. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Do you plan on having the baby in Michigan? That's fine. And how are you going to pay for it? And we can move on.
Okay.
So answer the questions, please.
Fine.
Yes.
So if she can have the baby in Michigan,
yes.
Fine.
Okay.
If we can pay for it. But
Very
if we
good.
cannot pay for it, then we leave.
Okay, very good. Was that your intention when you guys traveled from Nigeria? You knew that, is that right? You knew that that's what was going to happen?
Yeah, we knew it.
Okay, were you nervous to tell me that?
Yeah, because we didn't know what.
No problem. Listen, I appreciate you telling me the truth.
What are you gonna do with us? You know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna move to the next step. We'll figure it out. We're just one step at a time. What we're gonna do now is bring them to the admissibility enforcement unit. They're gonna further the inspection. And just follow me, guys.